y'all, welcome back to another video. It's been a minute since I did a video. I started doing Vlogmas and then I got real sad at the end of the year, which happens to me. I have depression or like depressive kind of episodes. I don't have like proper depression as far as like diagnosis, but I have ADHD, and so the dopamine kind of goes up and down depending on a lot of factors, and a lot of times at the end of the year it gets real low and real bad. So yeah, I just couldn't really handle the extra like stress of doing Vlogmas, unfortunately, because I love Vlogmas. But I'm back. Hello. Hopefully I feel a lot better to start. Once I get past the end of the year, things are better. And then I was just putting a lot of pressure on myself in a lot of different ways, and I stopped doing that as much. So yay. But yeah, I just kind of want to get on here to tell you, I'm good. Hello. I'm excited to make a bunch of videos for you this year, so you can come with me on my journeys, and just kind of wanted to talk about like what's going on with my mental health here, and then what I'm doing about it, because I think it's important that people bring up like, hey, I'm not doing great, because then other people who are experiencing similar things can be like, oh yeah, like me too, and it's nice to like commiserate on that. But also, I think really important to be like, hey, I'm not doing great, and like here's how I'm working on that, because I think sometimes other people are dealing with the same thing and they don't know what to do. So I wanted to also talk to you about what I'm up to try to fix those things and like feel better. So luckily, one of the main things for me for end of the year depression is the end of the year ends and then it's the new year. And I'm like a really ambitious person. And so I get really excited about New Year. I really like a fresh year, just feels like, rejuvenating to me. And I'm really excited about my future goals. I've already kind of talked about those at the end of last year. I do that to kind of remind myself like, hey, the new year is gonna come and then more things, and it doesn't feel just like, okay, well, this one's done, and so can I just throw it away? There's a Sabrina Carpenter song called Is It New Year's Yet? And I'm like, this is so relatable to me. It's like, I'm getting bored, so can we skip ahead? And I'm like, yeah, that's how I feel at the end of the year, pretty much. So, it's January now, and I feel a lot better because we're like a weekish into January, and that helps a lot. But for like practical things, I am in therapy, and so that's a huge outlet for me. That's really useful, especially when I'm feeling down on my mental health. I do have medication I take Adderall, and that helps somewhat, with the dopamine, but it's only can do so much if I'm also just like not feeling great. So I tried to like lessen my stressors somewhat of, I've been using like disposable dishes for a couple weeks to try to just like not have to worry about dishes as much, which has been useful because at the end of the year, not only did I already feel bogged down, but I also started doing a strength training program and a like pretty restrictive diet program that I got from a personal trainer that I'm, am paying for this information. And I'm gonna talk about that more in a different video. So far, I think it's going well. It's hard to say, sometimes how well, because I'm used to doing like dieting where it's like, okay, the number on scale go down means we are successful. Or like doing exercise where you can kind of just like feel that you're improving. Like I've done a lot of stretching in the past year and a lot of yoga, and you can just kind of feel in your body like, hey, that's getting better. Like, and you can tell also like physically like, oh, that's farther than I could stretch before. Like you can feel that and you can see it. Whereas like right now I'm doing more like body recomp, and that is significantly harder to tell because sometimes, your measurements change, maybe, but maybe they don't. But you look different, but how different? Hard to tell sometimes. And then also weight loss probably happening to some amount as far as like fat, but then also gaining muscle. So maybe weight don't go down. Maybe weight go up a little bit, but body look different, but does it? Because you're looking at it so much. So it's complicated. And I think that's been kind of stressful for me. It also requires me to cook like all my meals, which I thought about, and I was like, well, why was this easier when I was doing Weight Watchers? And it's because I was like, cooking chicken nuggets and shit, like just microwaving stuff. And I tried to make it as easy on myself as possible when I was doing weight loss, because I was like, That's the only way I'm going to be able to stick to it, or like the way I'm going to like not get super depressed. And I still got pretty depressed, but I was able to do it because I still didn't have that many tasks to do. But now I have a lot of tasks as far as like the cooking, which is part of why I was like, okay, well, we're going to ease up on our dishes a little bit so that I don't have to worry about that as much. I also like can't really do my stretching routines like I normally do right now, which is like not my favorite, kind of makes me sad. And also like, and I could do them, I want to say, but like I don't have the energy because that's like, got to be on top of this diet stuff all day, which is like very mentally taxing for me. I don't like thinking about food this much. I don't like dieting because it's just mentally draining and like triggering for me. And so to then have to like to spend all this time thinking about it, making sure I'm doing it right, and then doing my strength training, which I'm like, I just started strength training. I hadn't really done strength training very much in my life. And now I'm doing it 5 days a week. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And I can tell I'm getting better. I can tell I'm doing well in general at that, but, it's still a lot to do. So it's been a little stressful, but we're working on it and I'm doing my best. Additionally, I started doing this like personal training stuff because I had my breast reduction and that went really well and that was like my goal for last year. So I was like very happy to accomplish that. And I'm very happy with my results as far as like my back, it feels way better. Like I would not have been able to do all the strength training with the way my boobs were previously. It would have been way harder to do. My flexibility is so much better. And I can just tell like it's going to be such a huge impact on my whole body and just like my ability to do everything. So like I'm really grateful and I'm really happy I did that last year. But even though it's like been a really good thing, it did change my like measurements, my proportions, and that's obviously was the point for it to do that. But it's like for the first time in my life, my like stomach is sticking out farther than my boobs, which like does make me feel kind of weird. And it's just like I'm a different shape than I used to be. And like for somebody who already had body dysmorphia, it's like weird, that it's like very suddenly changed so much and it's been kind of hard to adjust to and I'm working on it. But that's part of why I'm doing the personal training stuff because I'm like, well, I would like to be a specific shape and I am not that shape as much currently and I want to get back there as like a concept. And it's weird to feel like I went backwards in my like feeling good about being in my body in the shape that it was from weight loss and surgery that I wanted, like that feels strange. But like that's where we're at. So, working on that. But it does mean, I'm just kind of uncomfortable right now with like how I look, which is fine, because I'm working on it and like mentally and physically. But yeah, that was also part of why I've just been kind of extra stressed recently. And I'm, figuring it out. But those are the things that I'm doing right now to try to work on it. Like I know that's a huge stressor on my mind right now. I know that and like not just like, oh, I don't feel comfortable in my body and it's uncomfortable, whatever, but also just like every time I go to get dressed, like fashion's like a big deal for me. I love fashion. I'm a huge, I've done a lot of fashion hauls on this channel because I love fashion. And every time I go in the closet now, I'm like, what am I gonna wear? And it took me like an hour the other day to pick out an outfit that I like felt comfortable and cute in. And it like, I'm trying not to cry. It like made me sad. Because for a long time fashion has been like made me feel really good about myself, and my body and just like my person and made me like feel like I could express myself the last couple years. And so to have to like spend that long just to find something like that I felt comfortable and good in was like, oh, this sucks basically. But I'm working on that too, not only like physically, like I said, but mentally. And like I'm going through all my clothes right now, like getting rid of some clothes. I have a lot of clothes, so I'm getting rid of some clothes. And just trying things on and seeing like what I can wear right now that I feel comfortable in, and separating that from other stuff that I don't feel comfortable in right now, but I think I'll feel better in soon, after I like do some body recomping, lose some weight. I'll tell you more about that in a different video, like what I'm actually like working on and how it's been going. But yeah, it's just been kind of hard. And I'm separating out, like I said, what clothes like fit me right now and I feel good in, because I do have clothes that I fit and feel good in. And I think it was easy for me after spending an hour, you know, trying to find something to wear to be like, cool, I just don't feel good at anything. Um, but I told myself while I was looking, like, no, we're gonna find something. And I did, you know, and I felt really good. And I got a compliment on my outfit about how nice I look. So I said, good, okay. We can get there. We can do it. So I am currently separating everything that I feel good in into one pile and things that I don't think fit me well into another pile. And I'm going to move those clothes into a different place so I don't try to put them on right now, you know, and that I can like reincorporate them when I'm feeling like they're going to fit better. Um, but yeah, it's a lot, you know. I also missed out on Christmas with my family, which sucks, because my knee has been hurting a lot, and it's really hard for me to drive. And like to see my family for Christmas, I have to drive like 2.5 hours there and then 2.5 hours back. And I did like a 1 hour both ways, like 2 hour drive. Um, like a week before that, and my knee hurt for days. And I was just like, I can't do 2.5 hours and then 2.5 hours again, because I'm gonna be like hard for me to walk or do anything for like many days. And I already had started doing my personal training stuff, and I was like, I don't want to not be able to do that when I already paid for it. And and part of the reason I want to do the personal training stuff is like to increase my glute strength and my like, you know, hamstrings and stuff so that my knee doesn't hurt the way that it does right now. Which I'm also working on. I'll talk in another video. Like I just got a massage from my friend Lane, who's a massage therapist, and he was like telling me which muscles, you know, are like hurting my knee there. Like, oh well, I shouldn't say that. Which muscles he was working on that I was like really feeling it, so that I can like try to work on those in my own time. And even just that massage was like really helpful. And then I'm gonna try to do a bunch of different stuff that I can for like knee strengthening because I really would like my knee to stop being, you know, mad at me for just doing normal stuff because I'm not doing like crazy stuff that's gonna piss my knee off. It's like I just have a really tight muscle there, I think, and it's just like overstrained from like my lack of glute strength, etc. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, those are kind of like the practical things I'm doing, and then also like talking about it in therapy, talking to my friends about it, and then just, you know, being trying to be patient with myself, you know, and remind myself to not think in like absolutes because I do think like black and white kind of extremes sometimes from like the tism, I think. And so to just be like, hey, it's okay. Like we're gonna figure it out, and even if it feels bad right now, that's okay. And we'll work on it and we'll lighten the load. And one of the ways I had to lighten the load was unfortunately Vlogmas. So I'm so sorry. But also was necessary. And hopefully now I am feeling a lot better. Even though I was just crying, I'm feeling a lot better. And hopefully soon I can take you on some new adventures. I have planned like an esthetician appointment where I've never been to the esthetician, so that'll be fun. Be interesting. I'll have, you know, some feedback about that, I'm sure. At the end of the month, I'm going to New York City, or like near the end of the month, I'm going to New York City for a show, and I'm gonna be excited to take you with me for like a travel vlog. And yeah, I also want to tell you more about my like personal training stuff and just kind of like what I'm up to generally. So yeah, look forward to some content soon. Thanks for sticking with me. I got over 350 subscribers, which is very cool for like my first year. Hoping to get up to 1,000 this year. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please like and share and do all those things if you think people would like my videos. And love y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.